The 1960s were more than just a decade. They were a revolution. The music got louder, the hair got wilder, and the cars, they got meaner, faster, and unforgettable. As the muscle car era roared to life, American streets transformed into rolling stages where power, style, and adrenaline took center stage. It was an arms race, not of weapons, but of horsepower, and every automaker wanted their name etched into history. Today, we're going back to the golden era of raw, unfiltered power. These are the 10 muscle machines that defined an era, the legends that defined a generation, and still make our hearts race. Let the countdown begin. Number 1, 1966 Dodge Coronet Street Hemi, the game changer. In 1966, Chrysler made history by bringing their race-dominating 426 cubic inch Hemi to the streets. Why? NASCAR had banned the Hemi in 1965, claiming it wasn't available to the public. Chrysler's response: make it street legal and unleash it for anyone bold enough to handle its 425 horsepower. To make the transition from track to road, Chrysler re-engineered the Hemi for reliability in all conditions, from daily drives to high-altitude runs. The result? The 1966 Dodge Coronet Street Hemi, a car that redefined street performance and became a muscle car icon. With its raw power and engineering brilliance, the Street Hemi proved that muscle cars weren't just about horsepower. They were a statement of rebellion and dominance. Number 2, 1969 Dodge Hemi, Daytona racing meets the streets. By the late 1960s, Detroit's horsepower wars were in full swing, fueled by cheap gas, cutting-edge tech from the space race, and a nationwide obsession with racing. Dodge decided to push the limits of engineering and design with an audacious plan: create 500 aerodynamically advanced Dodge Chargers for the public to dominate NASCAR and solidify their muscle car legacy. The result was the 1969 Dodge Hemi Daytona, a car like nothing anyone had seen before. Its wind tunnel-tested nose cone and towering rear wing resembled a fighter jet more than a street car. Under the hood was Chrysler's mighty 426 cubic inch Hemi, the same engine that had already shaken NASCAR to its core. The Daytona wasn't just fast, it was a statement of innovation and dominance. With its outrageous design and race-ready performance, the Hemi Daytona secured Dodge a place in automotive history. This wasn't just a muscle car, it was a cultural icon that embodied the power and ambition of the golden age of American performance. Number 3, 1969 Ford Boss 429 Mustang, the stealth racer. The 1969 Boss 429 Mustang wasn't built to dominate the streets. It was Ford's secret weapon for NASCAR. Homologation rules required the engine to appear in a production car, so Ford stuffed the race-ready 429 cubic inch Hemi under the hood of their Mustang. Though its Cobra Jet 428 sibling often outperformed it in straight-line speed, the Boss 429's true potential lay beneath its detuned exterior, needing just a few tweaks to become a track-devouring powerhouse. Production of the Boss 429 was a rarity from the start, with only 859 built in 1969 and another 499 in 1970. Rated at 375 horsepower, the engine's true capabilities far exceeded this conservative figure. Fitting the massive Hemi into the Mustang's narrow engine bay was no small feat, requiring modifications by Carcraft in Michigan. This attention to detail made each Boss 429 a specialized piece of engineering, designed to push boundaries on the racetrack. With its exclusivity, racing pedigree, and untapped potential, the Boss 429 Mustang stands as one of the most formidable and sought-after muscle cars of its era. It wasn't just a car, it was a loophole-turned legend, representing Ford's relentless pursuit of racing glory. Number 4, 1970 Chevelle SS 454, the big block beast. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454 became one of the defining muscle cars of the era, thanks to its powerful 454 cubic inch big block engine. The Chevy Malibu, especially in its Chevelle SS form, was already a fan favorite by the late 60s, but the 454 upgrade took it to another level. Offered with 2 engine options, the 360 horsepower LS5 and the 450 horsepower LS6, the Chevelle SS 454 boasted the most horsepower ever offered in a production car at the time. The LS6, which produced 450 horsepower, was a monster, making the 1970 Chevelle SS 454 an instant legend. But despite its immense power, only 4,475 LS6 models were produced, adding rarity to its appeal. However, after 1968, the Chevelle SS was no longer a separate model, but a trim on the Malibu, making it hard to distinguish a true SS from other models, requiring careful inspection of paperwork to confirm its authenticity. This lack of clear identification only added to the mystique of the 1970 Chevelle SS 454. Its rarity, immense power, and the confusion surrounding its true lineage make it a highly coveted collector's item, cementing its place in muscle car history. Number 5. 1963 Plymouth Savoy Max Wedge, the birth of the muscle car. By 1963, Chrysler was ahead of the curve in the muscle car game with its newly redesigned mid-size B-body platform. While GM was still focused on full-size cars, Chrysler shifted gears, and Plymouth, under Elwood Engel's design direction, got the aesthetic edge. At the same time, engineers like Tom Hoover were working on the 426 Ci Max Wedge big block engine, which would soon become a muscle car legend. Introduced in 1962 as the Superstock 413, the Max Wedge grew to 426 cubic inches in 1963, delivering an impressive 425 horsepower. Paired with the first-ever 3-speed automatic transmission, the lightweight Plymouth Savoy equipped with the Max Wedge was nearly unbeatable on the track. This combination of power and performance helped propel Plymouth's B-body sales to a 44% increase over the previous year. With only about 250 Max Wedge-equipped Plymouths produced in 1963, the Savoy became one of the rarest and most sought-after muscle cars. As one of the first true muscle cars of the 60s, the 1963 Plymouth Savoy Max Wedge cemented Chrysler's place in automotive history. Number 6. 1962 Pontiac Catalina Super Duty, the birth of a muscle car. In 1962, the Pontiac Catalina and Grand Prix were full-size cars, not yet considered muscle cars, as the term hadn't even been coined. But these powerful machines set the stage for the muscle car revolution. As competitors like Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler dominated racing circuits, Pontiac wasn't far behind, using their high-performance Super Duty engines to tear up speedways before the AMA's 1963 racing ban. Pontiac's 421 cubic inch Super Duty engine, rated at 405 horsepower, was a game-changer. Later models featured even larger valves and improved intake manifolds for better flow and performance. To further boost performance, Pontiac lightened the Catalina and Grand Prix with aluminum body panels, making these full-size cars not only powerful but agile. Though fewer than 200 Super Duty 421 Pontiacs were made, they were the precursor to the muscle car era, showcasing that a powerful engine in a lighter car was a formula for excitement. This groundbreaking combination set the stage for Pontiac to lead the muscle car flood that would follow. Number 7. 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt, the muscle car that shook the tracks. In 1963, Ford was still relying on full-size cars like the Galaxie 500 to compete in NASCAR and drag racing, but they weren't fast enough. To truly enter the muscle car wars, Ford needed something smaller and lighter. Enter the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Based on Ford's new midsize Fairlane platform, the Thunderbolt was equipped with a high-output 427 cubic inch big block engine, producing an impressive 425 horsepower. With its lightweight fiberglass components replacing the steel parts and plexiglass windows, the Thunderbolt was a racing machine built for speed. Though it was banned from NASCAR, it dominated the 1964 NHRA Superstock Championship, showcasing its true potential. Only 100 Thunderbolts were built that year, making it an incredibly rare and highly sought-after muscle car. Despite its limited production, the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt made a lasting impact on both racing and muscle car history. Its lightweight construction and powerful engine made it a force on the track, and its success paved the way for Ford's dominance in the years to come. Number 8. 1965 Pontiac GTO Tri-Power, the muscle car that redefined performance. The 1965 Pontiac GTO Tri-Power, built on the success of the 1964 GTO, which had already shaken up the automotive world, Pontiac's decision to exceed GM's corporate engine displacement limit and drop a 389 cubic inch V8 into their midsize Le Mans was a bold move, one that paid off in a big way. The GTO's success not only helped define the muscle car era, but also led to a shift in GM's corporate policies on performance. In 1965, the GTO received several key upgrades, including improved brakes, heavy-duty shocks, and a stronger anti-sway bar. The tri-power carburetor setup was refined to push the 389 cubic inch engine to 360 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful muscle cars on the road. As a result, sales soared, with over 75,000 units sold, a clear indicator of the GTO's growing popularity. Though the tri-power system was phased out by 1967, the 1965 GTO tri-power remains a standout in muscle car history. Its combination of performance, refinement, and bold design helps cement the GTO as the icon of 1960s American muscle. Number 9, 1968 AMC AMX, the latecomer that shocked the muscle car world. American Motors entered the muscle car game a bit late, having previously focused on family cars rather than performance models. But by 1968, AMC found itself playing catch-up, watching larger competitors like Ford and Chevy dominate the youth market. However, AMC had already set the stage for the muscle car movement by pioneering the shift towards smaller cars, which made the muscle car revolution possible, even if they had initially stayed out of it. To make up for lost time, AMC released the Javelin and the even more striking AMX, a compact two-seat sports car designed to compete with both the Ford Mustang and Chevy Corvette. With a price tag closer to the Mustang but the performance edge of the Corvette, the AMX offered an unbeatable combination of style and speed. Powered by a 315 horsepower 390 V8, the lightweight AMX delivered blistering acceleration, proving that performance didn't have to come at a premium price. The 1968 AMC AMX was a game-changer, allowing AMC to continue its high-value strategy while attracting a new generation of car enthusiasts. It may have arrived late, but the AMX quickly became a standout in the muscle car world, offering exciting performance and design at an affordable price. Number 10, 1969 Chevy COPO Camaro, the hidden muscle car legend. The 1969 Chevy Camaro is one of the most iconic muscle cars of the 60s, offering performance that pushed the boundaries of what was possible in a factory Camaro. COPO, Central Office Production Order, was typically used for adding special equipment to non-performance vehicles. But some savvy dealerships realized they could use it to secretly install Chevy's top-tier 427 cubic inch big block V8 into the lightweight Camaro, creating a factory-built supercar. The 427 V8 engine was normally reserved for top-of-the-line Corvettes and full-size Chevys, and in 1969, Chevy had a restriction that limited engine sizes over 400 cubic inches in smaller cars like the Camaro. But with the COPO order, the 427 found its way into the Camaro, producing a staggering amount of horsepower and making it one of the most powerful vehicles on the road. The 1969 Copo Camaro, with its 427 cubic inch engine, is often regarded as the pinnacle of Chevy performance in the 1960s, combining the Camaro's lightweight design with unmatched power. Its rarity and performance make it a highly coveted collector's item today, cementing its place in muscle car history. And that's a wrap on our countdown of the 10 most impactful muscle machines ever. These legends still leave a mark on the roads today, proving that some cars aren't just built, they're born to roar. Whether you're a die-hard gearhead or just a fan of pure, unadulterated power, the legacy of these muscle cars is undeniable. Which one of these beasts gets your heart racing the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your favorites. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride, and make sure to subscribe for more legendary content. Thanks for cruising with us, and until next time, keep your engines revving.